Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Talk Tequila with the Tequila Hombre. Hopefully the volume is a little better this time. People complained last time that the volume sounded a little muffled. So hopefully this sounds a little better for you. I just have to make sure we're not clipping here on the volume level. And it looks like it should be an occasional clip, but it should be okay. So you guys hear me okay? Let me know. Let's just say, yeah, it sounds good, or let me know if it sounds muffled. I can make some adjustments here to make it a more pleasant experience for everybody to listen in. All right, so how about those Cowboys, hey? You guys know I'm a big Cowboy fan, and of course, one of my viewers made this jersey for me a couple years ago. So I got my Tequila Hombre Cowboy jersey on today because, hey, we're 2-0. I'm not going to jump in and say we're going to win the Super Bowl or anything like that, but I really like the way the team looks this year. I think it's going to be really good. So I'm excited for this year, and I'm hoping that they don't disappoint me like they have the last 20 years since Troy Aikman was a quarterback. But I'm really excited about that. You guys have seen some of the stuff on Instagram I post what I drink when I sit out and watch the Cowboys games. I do love a good tequila. All right, some things coming up. As you guys know, a week from today at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll still do the afternoon. I like 12 noon time, so maybe we'll do the 12 noon time on a more consistent basis. And so, but next Thursday, we're going to do the first ever Hombre Blind High Proof Blanco Challenge. And it's going to be on Instagram. So it's not going to be here on the YouTube channel. It's going to be on my Instagram because that way I can bring 3 people up that I selected that are going to be on my panel. Now, what I basically did, I don't have the bottles with me here. They're downstairs. But I selected 3 members off the YouTube channel. So they're people that have membership and support the channel. So those are the ones I want to kind of give the opportunity to do this because they support me, and it costs me money to send bottles to them. Postage isn't cheap these days. So I sent out kits of 4 tequilas in bottles that are like this. So they're going to have 4 of these that are labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I've got a set of 4 myself. Let's see if we can get to focus. Oh, you don't need to see. But so we're going to do a blind tasting where we're going to taste through all of them. I'm going to have 4 Denver and Liley glasses lined up. And then before we started, I'll pour the Blancos into the glasses and let them open up a little bit before we actually do the feed. I'll encourage those that are my participants to do that. And for those of you that don't know, my participants are Cole Center. I selected Cole Center, Jan Neeson, and Travis Conboy. Those are the guys that are going to be joining me because they're the ones that sent me messages on Instagram after last week's live stream. So they went out. I think Travis got his already. He's fairly close here. He's not too far from me here in the Inland Empire. But the other 2 should be getting theirs probably in the next day or 2. So that's going to be fun to do. We're going to start doing these High Proof Blanco challenges. And I'm thinking I may do a High Proof Blanco challenge and challenge Curiosity Public because they challenged me to something. And bring them on here on YouTube if they can do it under one camera. And do a blind challenge with them and see what they pick and see how things go with that. But I'm going to do these on a more consistent basis. So right now we're doing high proof. We'll do regular Blancos. We'll do añejos. We'll do repos. We'll do extra añejos. And I'll include some of these brands that send me stuff for reviews. And we'll do it blind so they have no idea what's in the bottles at all. They don't have to try to guess which brand is what. They have no idea. And I've got literally like 30 or 40 high-proof Blancos to select from for today, so they don't know what they're going to get. And so that's going to be kind of fun to see them, taste through them, and we'll go through the tasting notes on them. You'll see how a tasting is done, too. It's kind of a educational, informational thing as well. Let's turn some music, a little bit of background music up here a little bit. There we go. And it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to probably do this from my Hombre Cave studio out in the garage so I can enjoy a cigar while we do it, because I'm not really going to be I'm going to be moderating. I'll be tasting them too, but I'm going to probably be moderating. So I'll probably enjoy a nice stogie while we're doing it, and doing it from outside in the Hombre Cave studio outside. So that's going to be fun. We're going to do that. What else? What's happening since the last? I'm going to be starting a new project, and I know people are like, all the time. They're like, hey, I know Hombre's been pushing the Carrera 54, right? That was a project I worked on with the Camarenas, and it was so good, and I wanted to support the brand so much. I didn't want this product sitting in a warehouse at a distributor waiting for stores to try to get it. And so I said, I'm gonna get this in as many people's hands as possible. It's so good. So we bought the whole entire batch. So this batch that you see me talking about, the Carrera 54 all the time, was a batch that I worked with them on developing the flavor profile, and then helped them, and then that's what it came out to be like. So this is like a really special batch. And last time I was in Mexico, I talked to him and said, hey, you guys haven't released another batch yet, right? They said, no, we're trying to, but we haven't quite been able to duplicate the same flavor profile that we have. So this batch that we have is special, which is really good. But the only place you can get it right now is on Ferment and Still, because we bought the whole batch to support the brand. And it also allowed the distributor to bring it in and not have to worry about it sitting in their warehouse. So it supported, it was a major support for the brand and helped the brand out a lot by us buying the whole batch. And if you've seen the tag on it that says presented by the Tequila Hombre, they did that to say thank you to me, to honor me, and to promote me in return for helping and promoting them. So that was like a thank you for me. So that's why the neck tag is on there, and I appreciate that. And but it really is a spectacular high proof Blanco, and that's the reason why I talk about it all the time. It's not because I'm being paid to promote it, I'm not, but it's because this is it's a passion project for me, and it turned out better than I ever thought it would, and it blew me away, and I'm really excited about it. And everyone's been talking about it now, that people are trying it, the verified buyers. The haters still say that they've tried it and stuff, but they're always going to say negative things about me, even though all of them have never met me before. I've never talked to them. They don't know who I am. They've never met me like you guys. You guys come here and talk, and we share stuff, but they've never done that. Well, I said all of this to say I'm going to be working on a new project. I had Casa San Matias reach out, and they want me to work with them on doing a special project, another high proof Blanco. And this is going to be for the Taona Blanco. So if you're not familiar with the Taona line, let me grab a bottle real quick. I've got a few bottles back here. Hold on. This is the San Matias Taona Blanco. So it's a fantastic Blanco. It's really good. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but it's really good. It's imported by Sazerac, so you can find it in a lot of places, and it's a little more on the pricey side because it's small batch. They do this at a different part of the distillery that they set up just for this line that has the Taona, which Pepe is the name of the Taona. It actually has like a fake donkey head on it. I can post a picture on Instagram if you guys want to see what it looks like, of me like trying to kiss the donkey. But it's a really, really good Blanco, and I've been talking to them for a little bit about, hey, we should do a high proof Blanco of this, and so they want me to help them with it and develop it, since they've seen the success that we've had with the Carrera high proof Blanco. So this is something I'm going to be working on, and if you guys want, I can even do this live on like Instagram or here, where I pull this out and take some tasting notes, and then put down some stuff on things that I think they should do to that they should do to make it better. And then we're going to create a Tequila Hombre edition of the Teona Blanco that we will probably buy the whole batch just to support the distillery. Now, I've got a long history with Casa San Matias, and it's not because they pay me to do anything. I don't get paid to do anything. It's because I wholeheartedly love the distillery and what they do. When I first created the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, the first 5 barrels, first 5 barrels that we did were from San Matias, from Casa San Matias. We did a 2 Corazon bourbon barrel expressions. So we did a Corazon de Agave Blanton's Añejo. We did a Corazon de Agave Eagle Rare Reposado. And we did a San Matias Grand Reserva Extra Añejo select barrel before they were doing the 90 proof version of that. That came later. But we were the first, and then we were the first to get, we got the first 2 barrels of the Raysol 10-year anniversary extra añejo. So it's 20th anniversary, so it's aged 10 years, but it was to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Raysol. And I'm a huge fan of Raysol, and you guys know from my voice.
Yeah, baby. Oops, I didn't adjust the volume on this, but oh yeah, baby, I love the Raysol. It makes me want to sing. Oh yeah, baby.
I should have checked the voices, but I have my Raysol voice that I do. That I should have double checked to make sure the settings are all right on this. But it's one of my favorites, and so they actually designated me as the godfather of Raysol, and so I'm really excited about that and love that. So I'm really excited about this new project, and if you guys want me to do it live, I can do the tasting live and stuff and talk to you about it. But this is right off the San Matias Teona, right off the still. They gave me two bottles to do my tasting and give them recommendations on what they should do with it. And I know Rocio, the master distiller there, and she's also the barrel. She was originally the barrel person where she did all the tasting. She did the blending too on the San Matias blended añejo, which is really good. So that's another project that I'm working on. I'm excited about that. So that's going to start this probably over this weekend. And if you guys want, if you want me to go live, I can do it live if you guys want to be a part of it and help out. I think that'd be fun. I enjoy, talking to you guys and making myself available for you guys to ask questions. I don't think anybody else does this. I think I'm the only one. And the reason being is because I'm probably one of the only ones that's got all this stuff in my head and this knowledge because of my access to the master distillers and stuff. So, but let's visit in with our subscribers and start asking questions. Now they got all that stuff out of the way. You saw the video I just did too. I posted yesterday on the glasses. The Denver and Lightly glass is my preferred glass, and so you can find out about that by watching the video posted to the channel yesterday. So, hey, salud, Tater Dom. Bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it today. Happy, do you remember the 21st day of September? Love Earth, Wind, and Fire. A happy holiday, happy Tequila Thursday, hombre, happy holiday. Hey, Ruben, thank you, bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it. Sip, savor, and celebrate. Hola. Hola to you too, bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it. Peter Dom says audio is good. Good. Okay, good. I got the audio fixed. Perfect. Parsons, he is a beast. Parsons is a beast. You gotta love the guy. And it's funny because they talk about, every time they go to the line and get ready to hike the ball, they're like, okay, where's Parsons lining up today? And next thing you know, he's like all up in the quarterback's face. He is unstoppable. And Diggs is doing a great job now too. I love Diggs on the outside there, watching the wide receivers. He does a good job. He gets the ball turned over. It's so good. And I'm really liking that they're getting CeeDee Lamb all involved now too, a lot more. And the running game's looking pretty good too. I mean, everything's been pretty solid this year, which I really like. And I'm glad, that they had Zach Martin taken care of with his contract, so he's back on the line because he's a big integral part to the running game for them and keeping Dak Prescott safe. So, where can I get Fortaleza? It's pretty much a unicorn at this point. Need a Reposado, Añejo, or Still Strength. Don't get Fortaleza right now. Just wait. Be patient. Wait. You're not for more than Fortaleza. You're not missing anything. All right. And then come December, they're supposed to open up the new distillery. And so you'll see a lot more out here. You're not going to have to pay a ridiculous price for it. You'll be able to find it everywhere. But once they get the volume up with the new distillery, you'll find it more. But just be patient. That's my point, is be patient. There's so many other better tequilas, in my opinion. I buy Fortaleza and I don't really drink it. I mean, I have some, but I haven't bought it in a long time because it just sits on my shelf. I don't really go and drink it that much because I don't particularly care that much for the flavor profile. There's other tequilas that I enjoy more and drink more and buy more. G4 is one of them. I love G4. It's always been one of my go-to brands. El Tesoro is another one too, one of my go-to brands. So I'd rather drink those than Fortaleza any day of the week right now. So it's just the way I am. Let's see, what is this? We're okay. Leo says, appreciate the post of my review on the short video of the Carrera Still Strength Blanc. Oh, you're welcome, Leo. Thanks for the review. I appreciate you posting a review, letting people know your thoughts. People, when you guys post your reviews on Ferment and Still, I'll share them with people because people think that, I'm a paid shill because I talk about it so much. They don't understand that, when people are passionate about something and love something and really want people to try it, that they'll talk about it a lot and they'll bring it up a lot. And it's because I'm constantly drinking it and going back to it. It's always on my mind. I love it. And so I want to share with everybody so they can try it. But there's a lot of people that are hesitant because there's some haters out there that spew stuff about me that they don't know what they're talking about. They've never met me. They don't know who I am. They don't know what I do. They don't know anything. But they spew hate and stuff because they're not doing it, I guess. I don't know what their reasons are. Maybe they're just not happy unless they're hating somebody and I'm a good target because I put myself out there. I don't know. So by me talking about it and letting more and more people know, more and more people hear about it, and it just, it gets more and more people to try it. And then when people like you, Leo, write a review, I'm showing people, look, it's not just me talking. It's not just me that thinks it's great. And I appreciate you sharing your feelings on it too, and posting your review up on Ferment and Still when you got the email. Those help with people to make them confident in their purchase. So get the Carrera. There you go. So I'm guessing Tater Dom has tried the Carrera 54, which is good. I'm glad you have. What did you think about it, Tater Dom? Did you like it? What's the smoothest high proof? I don't go by smooth and stuff. I don't like the term smooth. Or Lalo in places of Fortaleza. Oh, by the way, Ola from Dayton Hombre. Hey, Brian. Ola. I wouldn't do Lalo in place of Fortaleza because if you're looking for aged expressions, Lalo doesn't do them. So I wouldn't do Lalo. My Bengals season's off to it. Yeah, I know. Bengals are my second team, and it's not looking good for them. They've had some issues, some hard times. Hopefully they can turn it around. I do have my Bengals jersey hanging in the closet. They're my second team. I'm a Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan since Don Meredith back in the 70s. I'm aging myself there. But I'm also a Cincinnati Bengals fan because I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, watching the Bengals at Riverfront Stadium when Riverfront existed. It's not there anymore. But I grew up watching Ken Anderson, Anthony Munoz, Chris Collinsworth, who's now a commentator on TV. He was a wide receiver for the Bengals when I was watching him. And I was there out at Riverfront Stadium in a playoff game when the Bengals squared against Dan Faust and the San Diego Chargers, and it was like Arctic freeze time out there. It was minus 60 degrees, wind chill factor, and snowing, and it was miserable. And we were bundled up, wearing all kinds of stuff. But I do love my Bengals, and they're not looking as good this year as they were last year. So, all right, questions. When visiting Mexico, are you able to ship bottles that you buy there back home? Or is it only then that whatever you can fly back? No, you can't ship stuff back home. You it's because you're if you ship it, you're importing. And when you're importing, once it hits customs, once DHL or FedEx or Post hits customs, they're going to confiscate it and you won't get your bottles. So you need to bring it back with you on your person, and that way you can clear it through customs with your passport, and make sure that everything's legit. Just make sure that you check your state rules on what you can bring back, and make sure that you don't bring back too much. If you bring back more than 1 liter of tequila, you are supposed to pay a duty for it. So you can, if you're coming back with 8 bottles or 10 bottles or whatever, you have to tell them at customs, I'm coming back with 10 bottles. And then they'll say, okay, how much is it worth? And then you can say, it's only worth this much. And then they're like, okay. And a lot of times they'll wave you through, depending on how nice the customs people are. Sometimes they may say, okay, you have to go to cashier and pay a duty. But like, I came back with 16 bottles once, and I was stopped at customs by a new customs agent, a customs officer, and he didn't know what he was talking about. And I had proof. I had the printed out document. In California, you're allowed to bring back up to 60 liters, 5 cases, up to 60 liters of liquor, of high proof, not high proof, but just liquor. And you're allowed to bring that back for personal use, but of course you have to pay a duty on everything over 1 liter. So when I brought this 16 bottles back, this guy, they held me for a while. It was like half an hour. I was sitting with customs, and they're like, and the guy kept telling me, you can't bring that. We're going to confiscate all your liquor. I go, you're not going to confiscate all my liquor, because according to the ABC, and I showed him the document, I'm allowed to bring back up to 60 liters. And so finally a senior officer came. I goes, yeah, he's right. You're allowed to. He says, normally we'd have you go to the cashier and pay the duty and stuff on it, but it's only going to be $30, and right now it's midnight, so we're not going to worry about it. Just go ahead. Sorry about the inconvenience. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I walked out with my 16 bottles. So just make sure you check with your state on how many bottles you're allowed to bring back, and make sure you bring proof with you. So if you're stopped at customs, you can show them that because one term that they like to use a lot, when you come back and stuff, is know before you go. That's their motto, know before you go. So make sure you do the research and you know what you're allowed to bring back before you go, and then when you come back, don't exceed it, because then you're just asking for trouble. Okay. Rick Lecaros, he says, "Que pasa, hombre? Late to the party. Hope I didn't miss." No, you didn't miss anything big. Not yet. So just we're doing the High Proof Blanco Challenge a week from today on Instagram. It's going to be live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 Eastern. So make sure you tune in for that. Cole Centers, Jan Nissen, and Travis Conboy are going to be my victims for the High Proof Challenge. The 4 samples have gone out with them. They're not going to have an idea of what are in the bottles at all, what high proofs I selected. So it's going to be fun to do that with them. So you should review Chamucos. Their high proof is weird. Yeah, I've got the whole Chamucos line. I need to do it. I've got the Chamucos. I got the Diablo, the high proof Blanco. I got the Repo. I got the Añejo. I got the Extra Añejo. So I have them all here. I just, when brands send me stuff, I give them priority. So I have to get those done first. And so I'll get to it. I have the Suerte stuff too. I know Suerte, had their high proof come out. It's not available through retailers. Was available through their website. So I don't have the high proof, but I have their regular Blanco, Repo, Añejo. And then I've got like 8 different bottles of Extra Añejo. I've got like 4 of the original Crowns, which the original Crowns, when they came out, were really good. And I think they came out like in 2018, I think, or 2016. So I really like those. So I have some of those stashed away in my collection. But then I also have the Lips. I've got the Diamond. I've got the 400. So I've got the other ones that they did as well. And then they're back on the Crown now. But I didn't pick up the new bottle of the Crown. But maybe I'll pick up a new bottle of the Crown and see how it compares with the old ones. So The Carrera 54 is yummy, yummy, yummy. I thought I was weird for picking out the chocolate notes, but my family could taste it now too. Yeah, it does kind of have a sweet kind of chocolate note in there. It does. So yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Sip, Savor, and Celebrate. You're welcome. How's the Cascaween Dona? I've been wanting to try, but hard to find around here in North Florida. It's actually good. It's good. It's a good. I like the Dona. I prefer the Plata 48 personally, but the Dona is good. They have an order on Ferment and Still, and they'll send it to you. We have the. I think we have the Dona, and I think they just got the Plata 48 back in stock too. So you can get that there if you want. That's one of the reasons why we created the store. So when things are hard to find, you can always order it online if you're in a state that we ship to. So. Leo wants to know, when's the Carrera Extra Añejo coming out? It's due out, I think, when I was there on my last trip. You guys saw the video that I posted on the Hombre channel. I gave them the final approval. They want me to approve everything now, so then I can say it's good, or if they want to make changes, I can recommend changes to it. So they asked me to approve that when I was there, so I went up and approved it. It's good, and unfortunately, it's only going to be 40% ABV, but it's really tasty. I think people are going to really like it, and it's going to be affordable. Now, keep in mind too, there was only 3 barrels of this Extra Añejo, so it's going to be limited, because they only had 3 barrels sitting in the aging barn, the barrel room of this, and so it's going to be limited. But we'll definitely get it for Ferment and Still, so we'll have it there. So I'm thinking probably December. All right, so asking for a friend means he's asking for himself. But if I have a tequila I don't particularly like to sip, but don't like sweet cocktails, what ideas do you have for drinking it? What kind of expression is it? Is it a Blanco, or is it a Añejo, or Repo, or what expression is it? That's the first question that I have for you. Because I'll tell you what I do. I mean, there's things that I do. Sometimes I just dump them if I'm not good. Because I've got over 1,300 bottles of tequila, just a little bit. And so if I get one that's really bad, I'll just dump it out. I'm not afraid to do that. And it helps clean out my sink, my drain. If there's any of my daughter's hair in it or something like that, it helps clean them out. It's a Blanco. Okay, so what I'd recommend doing with the Blanco, and this will be fun too, because you can actually see how it improves. One great way to make it is to age it. Age it. All right. So if you go to bbaging.com and pick out a Beyond Barrel aging stave. Okay, you can do American oak or French oak, and then if you want to make it like a bourbon barrel aged, you can soak the stave in some bourbon or some, like I've done port, I've done port wine, I've done sherry, I've done all different kinds of bourbons. Angel Envy works really great if you have any Angel's Envy around. Soak the stave overnight in some bourbon if you want to go that route, or you can just put the stave right in the bottle and age it, and it'll take. Aging hides flaws and nastiness in tequila, and it can make things taste better. And that's what we did with the Cascanes Joven. Originally, when John Paul, the CEO of Cascanes, came to my house, he used to come here all the time and sit with me, and when he had stuff he wanted me to taste and give my opinion on, he used to come over and he brought over a batch of Los Altos agave that they made tequila with. Hold on a second, this music's horrible. I need it. It sounds more like a. There we go. And so he brought over this really funky Blanco. They used Los Altos agave, but what happened is I think they just didn't pay attention to it when it was in the fermentation tank, and it went into malolactic, like super malolactic. It was funky, nasty, gross, like undrinkable. When I tasted it, I was like, oh. And you see, as a certified beer judge, you know, I'm used to tasting stuff that's bad. We had to, because if they entered it into a competition like at the fairgrounds or at any other beer competitions, you had to drink it. Even though sometimes you knew it was bad, like some beers, if you pop open a beer and it gushes, it geysers, like on a homebrew beer, it's because it's infected. It's so, you know it's infected, you know it's got some kind of weird bacteria growing in it or something, but you still had to drink it and then give feedback on it. So this was kind of like one of those scenarios where when I smelled it, I was like, okay, this is going to be kind of gross. So I tasted it, and yeah, it was like, okay, I said no, yeah. So the first thing is we said is barrel and age it. It'll fix some of this funkiness in there. It won't fix all of it to start, but it'll fix some of it. And then let's see where it is, in a little while. So like 6 months later, he came back with some that after it'd been in the barrel for a while, or maybe it was like eight months later. And they brought some back and they said, here, do you think this is better as a repo? And so I tried it. I was like, yeah, that's still really funky. I said, but maybe we can fix this. And so I said, here, let's try this. Let's add a little more. Let's add some of the 10 high proof Blanco into it from this batch. And let's add a little bit of extra añejo into it. And so we blended them together. And then we tried it. We're like, oh, this is so good. This is really good. And he's like, yeah, this is really good. So then they went back to their crew, and then they put their percentages that they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it, and they created the first Hoven. So the first Hoven, basically, I helped them create. I basically came up with the idea of it in my kitchen. So that's one way, too, of fixing a bad Blanco is you can blend it with something else. But I recommend the aging route because then you don't have to worry about taking something you like or something that's good and putting something that's not so good into it. Instead, just drop the aging stave in and you can make it taste a lot better. And if you do that, let me know how it works out. I'd love to hear about that project. Experimenting on stuff like that for me is always fun and cool. And I always love doing stuff like that. So, hola, Travis. Bienvenido. Welcome. Glad you can make it. Travis is one of my victims for my high proof challenge. I think you already got your sample bottles, right, Travis? I think. You didn't get to try the Cascanas Hoven? Do you know if they ever making it again? Yeah, from what I understand, they've been trying to make it again, but they're just not able to because they didn't get the hombre involved in it. But I'll tell you what, SJCS, how about I'll send you a sample bottle? Huh? How about that? Send me a DM on Instagram and I'll get a sample bottle off so you can try it, okay? I have a bunch of bottles of it. So I'll send you a small 2-ounce sample. I don't mind sharing. Can we talk about the $200 G4 Madera Reposado packaging that's holding a $100 bottle of Repo? Yeah, actually, yeah, we can. Here's the deal. Let me kind of explain the whole retail thing to you. I sat and I talked with G4 about it because I saw that the suggested retail price on it was $299.99. And let me explain to you how this stuff works and what's going on. So normally, like a regular Reposado, when it comes from the distillery, let's say normally it costs the importer like $20 a bottle to buy. Okay, let's just say 20. Let's just pick a random number. Let's say $20 a bottle to buy. It may be more. It's probably $30 for a Repo or... So basically, the importer then will pay that to the distillery. When the importer pays that to the distillery, they then have to pay to ship that bottle to the United States. And if they have a bunch of product coming at one time, then they can spread the cost of shipping out over all of the merchandise on the truck. Okay, and so then once that truck comes to the border, they then pay tax on all the merchandise that's in that truck. They pay all the other fees and stuff that come in from importing it into the United States. And then they have to then ship it up to a warehouse facility where it's offloaded from the vehicle. So they have to pay for a warehouse facility too to be able to ship it to. And then from the warehouse facility, all the distributors will then pick it up from the warehouse to have it brought to their place where they will then ship it out or send it or sell it to the retailers. So when a bottle that costs $20 from the distillery, by the time it hits the border, gets to the warehouse, that same bottle costs the importer now probably around $40. Okay, so then they're going to take that $40 and they need to make some money on it, right? So they may jack it up to $50 a bottle so they can make some money because they have their overhead and stuff they have to cover too, not including the costs that they have for bringing this particular product in. And then they also have to leave enough overhead, enough room for the distributor to add their margins to it, because the distributor then will tack on a percentage for them, and then they have to leave enough for suggested retail also for the retailer to make money, because the importer needs to make money, the distributor needs to make money, and the retailer needs to make money, because they all have overhead and stuff that they need to pay. So with this particular batch, what happened was Felipe went a little crazy on the box. And a bottle that's normally a lot less expensive, because he selected special wood, special lining for it, had these metal medallions and stuff put on it, and had a cardboard box that goes on the outside of it. He added a lot of cost to those bottles. So when the brand, the importer for it here, which is Package Group, PKGD, Package Group is the one that imports it and markets it here in the US. They have the rights to distribute it in the US. So when they bought it from Felipe, it was a lot more expensive than what the regular repo would cost them. Okay, and because it has a box in it, a wooden box with metal and stuff on it, and another cardboard box, they can't put as much on the truck because those boxes are heavy. They're super heavy. So the amount of stuff that they could load onto the truck to bring it to the border is significantly decreased. So now they have the cost of running this truck from Guadalajara to the US border and then up to Northern California that's spreading over fewer amount of cases. So it drove the cost of the bottles up even higher. And Felipe didn't ask them about, hey, this is what we should do. Should we do something like this? Because probably they would have worked on sourcing a lower priced box or something, but it drove the price of that product way up. So Package Group, which is the company that brings G4 it, they're very tequila savvy people, good people. I've worked with them. I've known them and worked with them since 2016, 2017. They're all very good guys, very knowledgeable. They don't want to price gouge people. They don't want to have an extremely expensive thing like that. But unfortunately, because Felipe did all this stuff, the price of the bottle was more. And so they're like, okay, well, we can't go cheaper on this because it's going to end up costing us money if we do. So then it's shipped to the United States. It cost them a lot of money because they had to spend the amount of the money that they're paying for the logistics, the trucking and stuff, and the tax and stuff over a smaller amount of bottles. And now it's going to the distributor, and they had to make sure they had padded enough on top of it too, that the distributor will make money on it because they need to make their margins, and that the retailers can make their margins on it. And so that's why the price is $299.99. They're not gouging people. It's not because they want to take advantage of people. It's because Felipe got a little crazy with the box and went artistic on it and went with special wood. And it's not like your typical cheap wooden box. And it's got this nice satin stuff inside. He went full crazy bore on it. And so they're stuck with a reposado that's going to be $300 because of all this pricing. So there's 6,000 bottles of this. I'm going to buy a bottle because I don't mind supporting the brand. I love Felipe. I love what he does. It's a limited run. I'll buy a bottle just to support the brand and because I appreciate what they do. I appreciate what Package Group does. And it's going to be a really nice display thing as well for the bar. So you can't really look at it as just being a repo. You have to look at it as a complete and total package, because that's basically what drove the price of the repo up. If it was just the repo coming up, if Felipe didn't want to do something special with it, it would have been a lot less expensive. But the starting price on the bottles and what they paid from G4 is significantly more than what they normally were paying for repos. So that's why it's a $300 bottle. It's going to be worth it, and don't worry, they'll make it up to you. Trust me. With other stuff that's coming out, they were telling me about some stuff they're working on, which is going to be really moderately priced. They'll take care of it. They always do. I've worked with G4 a long time. I know them really well. They're good guys. I know Felipe really well. He's very passionate, and sometimes he wants to do some really cool things, but he doesn't think about what the cost is going to be, because they, honestly, the guy's rich. He's doing really well. So he went crazy with it, and he's really proud of it, which, when Felipe's proud about something, it's great. It's always great. It's going to be really good when Felipe's proud about it. And Felipe's really proud about this. And so I'm going to buy one. I may buy two, one to drink and one to keep on the display back here with some of my other box stuff. Like that's this year's the first single barrel Cascanes that came out. That's the first bottle number 1. Back when I was pushing this and telling people about it, that was $4.99 for that, and people were telling me I was crazy for $4.99 extra Niejo, but I was helping Cascanes sell it because it was really, really good, and people were thinking I was a page shill for that too, but it ended up selling out, and people were like, oh yeah, that stuff's phenomenal. And so I think this is going to be really good. It's just and then I think future releases of the Madeira repo, I think there will be a lot more reasonable, and they won't let Felipe go crazy like that, like he is on this. So don't be angry. It's not the brand's fault here in the US. It's Felipe being creative and putting something together really nice without thinking about how it's going to reflect the cost here in the US. Hey, C-Spill, how are you? Some of my favorite Blancos have dropped in price recently. Have you noticed that as well? I haven't noticed any dropping in price, but that's a good thing if they are. That's always good. Hello, Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. How are you? Bienvenido, welcome. Quicksilver, finally made it. Better late than never. Yes, hola. Bienvenido, welcome, buddy. Glad you can make it. All my bottles and boxes go into the trash when I'm finished drinking them. Can only have so many empty. I feel the same way, that's why it's like Artanam does all the wooden boxes, and it's like and it's the same too with cigar boxes. Like I've got like a ton of cigar boxes up here that are empty, and I can't do anything with them. But some of the nice display boxes, like this is going to be a coffin. It's shaped like a coffin, and it opens up, and it looks like the bottle's in a coffin, so it's kind of cool. And it's for Dia de los Muertos, which you can't tell here, but the design theme for here in my office is supposed to be Dia de los Muertos. My daughter made like a Calaveras hanging thing that goes on the wall over here, because I love Dia de los Muertos. So it's going to be Dia de los Muertos themed, and it'll be cool sitting on the shelf and something to show people. And then I could always just, buy a repo if they don't do the box next year, and just keep a repo in there, a Madeira repo, and replace it, Understandable. Do you think there'll be another Madeira repo batch in the future? I don't know. I think they may I think they're going to make it a yearly thing, because the Madeira is going to be a yearly thing. But whether Felipe wants to get crazy with the packaging or not will be a whole different thing. I think that the package group will probably go and talk to him and say, okay, can we do something that's maybe a little less expensive on the box? because Dia de los Muertos is a special day in Mexico, and Felipe wanted to do something because there's a lot of brands that come out with Dia de los Muertos versions of things, and so I don't know for sure, but stay tuned and I can find out as we move forward, because I do have a great relationship with the package group and with G4. Matter of fact, I have a G4 polo shirt with the G4 label on it, and a shirt because I actually worked for them a couple of times where they hired me to go and pour at margarita festivals and teach people about agave spirits while I was there. That was fun. So I have done work with them, and for those of you that don't know and haven't been affiliated or watching me for a long time, I'm one of the oldest reviewers here as far as being around for the longest, especially for video. I started in the tequila world back in 2016, so it's been 8 years now, almost 8 years, 7 years. And I started the group called the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, and I told you before, we started with Casa San Matias, but we were the first to do 2 barrels of the G4 5-year and introduce that to the United States when that came out, and then we were the first in the nation to get the 108 proof Blanco as well, and I was one of the people that talked Felipe into releasing that in the U.S. Because they gave me a batch of the 110 proof originally when I was there at the distillery. Felipe gave it to me as a gift, and it was really good. And I'm like, "Are you going to release this to the U.S.?" He's like, "No." So I just kept talking to him because Felipe, you should release this to the U.S. And so finally, they came out with it, and my group, the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, we were the first in the country to get the 108 proof. We got the first pallet that came into the country, and our members got to buy it, and for all around the country first. And so I've got a really good relationship with G4, always have, and I like that. Felipe is like a family member for me. When my wife and daughter were sick with COVID back during the COVID time, he actually video messaged me to send his thoughts and prayers for my family while they were going through this. And for me, who I was sequestered in here, I was pretty much locked in my hombre cave here away from my wife and daughter. So I didn't get sick because I am an asthmatic. And if I got COVID without being vaccinated first, it could kill me. So I was sleeping here in this room and pretty much living here while my wife took the bedroom, and my daughter was sequestered in her bedroom. But I took care of feeding them and taking care of them while they were sick. And so it was really nice to be here one day, and my phone rings and it's Facebook Messenger, and it's Felipe, and he sends his love and thoughts and prayers to me on a video message, and we chatted for a little while with him and Alan. And so they're really special. Last time I was around us, not this last trip, but the trip before, I actually was sitting with him while he was eating dinner in his kitchen, talking to him, and we were just catching up on stuff. And then I hang out with his son Alan too a lot. And Alan and I are good friends, so I'm really close with Felipe and his family, and I love my relationship I have with them. So I know when something like this comes along, they're not intentionally trying to gouge people. And I know it's easy to go negative and to think so and to be angry, but it's better to, if you don't know, to ask and to get the information before you get angry, because there's probably something behind it. And when you have a creative person like Felipe, who's not only very creative but also very emotional, and when they get behind something that they really love and want to do, you don't say no to them. You don't. So they'll have time now to advise later, but I know Felipe wants to see everybody enjoying their Madeira with the beautiful boxes that feature not only dead Alan, his son, but also has dead Felipe on it. So these little medallions feature dead Alan, dead Felipe, and dead El Pandillo. So he's taking great pride in that, and I love him for it, and I'll support the brand still and buy the bottle. So don't go negative. It's easy. It's so easy to go negative on people on things. It's so easy to go negative, but it takes a lot of energy to go negative, a lot more so than getting the proper information and thinking, giving the benefit of the doubt to the brand or the person and reaching out and finding out and getting the information first. And if they come across as being not nice or a jerk, then okay, then you're justified to hate. But until you get all the information that you need, don't go negative on it. And I always hate it when people go negative on a brand or go negative on me. They don't know me. They didn't ask me what I was doing or what it's about. They don't know they didn't know the brand. They just assume the worst and go negative on it. And it just creates an energy or an environment that's toxic. It's not pleasant and it's not good for anybody. And so, I personally, after 55 years of living, I don't have time for negativity. I don't have time for people that are jerks. And that's why I have a bunch of the haters that I have now, because sometimes people feel the need to express an opinion on something that's based on no actual facts, just their personal feelings. And even though they're not asked for. And a lot of times when they base their negative or spot their negative feelings or their negative thoughts, it affects somebody else, and it affects somebody else in a negative manner. And there's no reason for that. There's no reason to make somebody else feel bad or to do that. There's just no reason for it. So, like, I have a strict rule on my Facebook group that if somebody posts a bottle and you don't like it, unless they say, what are your thoughts and opinions on the post, leave it alone. Don't comment with a negative thought on it, because it's not serving any purpose. They didn't ask you for your negative thoughts. And it's just going to make them feel bad. And it's going to make them, not feel good. So just leave it alone. It's like the old saying, your grandmother or your mother used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So now, unless they say, hey, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Then you can say, well, I understand you picked up the bottle and stuff. I didn't find it to my liking because it has this, but maybe it's something that you would enjoy. And I hope you do enjoy it. Please let us know if you enjoy it. And you can do it in a nice manner where there's a lot of people out there like, oh, it's the most disgusting thing I ever put in my mouth. I don't know why anybody would buy that bottle. It makes the people feel dumb. It makes them feel stupid. And when you make somebody feel dumb or stupid, it puts them on the defensive and makes them not want to listen to you and makes them not want to be part of the community and participate and add things. And so I shut that down on my group. And so I have a lot of people that hate me because they'll come in and spew negative stuff. And I say, sorry, look at rule number 3 in the group. Nobody asked you. And then they'll get angry and they'll accuse me of a bunch of different things. And I don't care. And honestly, I don't have time to go back and forth with them. And so I just ban them. I kick them out. I gave them a chance. And, they didn't want to follow the rules. And the rules in the group are there for a reason. And I honestly would rather focus on more positive things and do more things that are going to be positively affecting people and allowing people to learn and allow people to share in an environment where they're not going to feel like they're going to get ridiculed. And so I don't need toxic people like that around me. I've had that for a part of my life, and it's not a good thing. And you don't wake up feeling good. You don't, you're not as excited to share and to participate. And that's not a good thing. I think people participating is a good thing. It's why I embrace your opinions here. If you want to express a bad opinion about something here, fine, go ahead. Just don't start a fight with somebody and don't cause any problems. Do it in a manner that is not abrasive and offensive, and you'll be fine. But as soon as you cross the line of being abrasive and offensive, you're done. You're gone. We don't need that in our lives. We just want positivity. We want nice. I always treat everybody with respect. I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And I think that that's something that everybody should do. All right, so I'm going to step off my my soapbox. I just, the whole thing about this went a little bit negative in my Discord group when the price came out for what this was. And instead of me, going negative too, I may have said something too that I probably shouldn't have, but I took it off because I thought about it and said, this isn't helping anything. And instead I just reached out to the brand and said, okay, what's going on with the $300 MSRP on this? And I sat yesterday with one of the package group guys on the phone, and we talked for a good hour and a half about everything. And so I got the lowdown on it, and I completely understand. And they're like, we need to make some money because we have bills to pay. I've got a family, and I understand. So, and the last thing they wanted to do was to give anybody the impression that they're being gouged, because they know recently with some of the stuff that's been happening, there is like a high price fatigue going on now. And I'm sensitive to it now. There's a lot of things that came out, like $795 bottle of tequilas, $500, for the El Tesoro 85th anniversary. There was a time where there was a lot of expensive bottles coming out, and it's like, okay, we need to chill out on this. But it's because of shortages and stuff like that. So, so the brand is not trying to gouge people. They're not trying to rip people off. They're just trying to give you guys something special. Felipe wanted to give you guys something really cool for Dia de los Muertos, and so that's why the price is, because he went really super crazy on expensive wood and insides. And all right, there we go. Okay, I'm going to step off my soapbox. Sorry if I started lecturing. So I think sometimes it just needs to be said. Sometimes we just need to be nice. Be nice to people. Don't assume the worst to people. Don't assume things. If you never met somebody, don't bash on them. If you have some ill feelings towards somebody, reach out to them and say hi and talk to them. Ask them questions, get some information, maybe meet for coffee if you live close to them, and find out what they're like and what their intentions were or what they're doing before you start just making stuff up and spreading false narratives around social media on people. We need to be nice. This toxic negativity is just not good for anybody. All right, so let's get back to what is this? Oh, Brian said, I have to go, hombre. Have a good remainder of the show. Thank you. G4 Gone Dark in Ohio. Still have a bottle of the XA and repo in reserve. Oh, nice. Good. Awesome. Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed says, when I give gifts, I do look for a nice box. Yeah, absolutely. And these would be a great gift. Now I'm going to do a gift video because we're getting to gift giving time. And a lot of people always ask me, hey, I want to buy a special gift for my husband or special for my wife, or it's her anniversary. So I'm going to do a gift giving episode here coming up soon. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to thumbs up, everyone. Yes, don't forget to click thumbs up. Give me a like for all the information that I'm sharing with you guys. And we are going to go longer than an hour because I can. That's why I started earlier today. But I do have, I'm a family man. I've got a young daughter that I'm going to go watch her. She plays sports for high school. So I'm going to go watch her, and I need to make sure I'm there for her. And so I'm going to, but I started this earlier today because I can go longer if you guys have more questions. So, let me see. What is this? Mark, do you mind sharing details about your bottle cabinets? Absolutely not. I don't mind at all. These are cabinets I bought from IKEA. I've got 3 of them. I got this one here, which is like mezcals. I got this one here, and there's tequilas on the bottom. This is all tequila. This one, oops, back here. And then this one right directly behind me is all tequila too. So these are just wooden glass cabinets from IKEA. And I put a string lights in here. So they're like strip lights that I can control through Wi-Fi, and I can change the colors of them and stuff like that. So these are all strip lights in here, and it just looks nice. But they're kind of heavy duty shelves. They're good. But if you do pick them up and use them from IKEA, be careful because the legs are very kind kind of delicate if you try to move the cases. So make sure if you do get them, when you pick the case up to move it, you pick it up and don't drag the feet because the feet will break. I've broken 3 of them. So, and I had to return them when I was fixing them and then get new ones. So you don't want to move them while you're, because the legs will break on them. So be careful. What is this? I'm curious. Looking at the building out shelves, but living in SoCal, the Inland Empire, worried about earthquakes, so cabinets with glass would be ideal. Yeah, that's why I got these, because I didn't want to do just shelves because of the earthquakes and stuff. I'm out here in the Inland Empire as well. But these have held up pretty well so far with the tremors that we've had. I do live in an area where it's sandstone underneath me, so it's pretty stable. It doesn't shake that much when we have earthquakes. It shakes a little. So we haven't had a big quake since I put these together, but I'm hoping that if we do, that they hold up okay, but we'll see. It's always a thought. Robert says, G4 is your favorite 40% ABV tequila. It's great. G4 tequila is great. Haven't opened my G4 108 bottle yet to say if there's also my favorite high proof also. Okay. Well, it's definitely a very good high proof. I do like it. C Spill says, thanks for the details. You're welcome. You don't have any of those expensive bottles. Okay, I do. Because I do understand in some scenarios, like the time and investment that goes into them and why the cost is. And you know, I look at them too as like, all right, if I have the money and I want to support the brand because I love their product, I'll buy it to support the brand. And because I like the product and I want to make sure the brand is being supported, you know? So that's the reason why I do a lot of the stuff I do, are to support some of these small brands that don't have huge advertising budgets, right? What do you think about Three Amigos expressions? I'm not a big fan of Three Amigos. If you're talking about the one that's at Total Wine, I'm not a big fan of that at all. Hey, Jan. Hola. Welcome. Late to the party, but bienvenido. Welcome. Jan is another one of our participants in the high proof Blanco challenge that'll be happening a week from today at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Instagram. Make sure you guys put it on your calendar. Hombre, do you use Starbucks? Oh, standbacks after a long night of drinking. What are standbacks? And I don't really have long nights of drinking. I'm 55 years old. My long nights of drinking are over. Hey, hombre, I'm local. Would love to taste at your tequila. Okay, Ruben. Maybe we can make that happen. Saludos, hombre. So tomorrow, high proof. What will be the best? Tomorrow. No, a week from today. A week from today at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The High Proof Blanco Challenge. Now I'm thinking I'm going to challenge. I think I should challenge Curiosity Public to a high proof challenge and see which ones they pick. What do you guys think? Should I do a video on YouTube Reels and stuff and call them out and do a challenge and see if they'll do it? I responded and did a video to their challenge, so it'd be interesting. I think it'd be fun to have them on here and put them through the High Proof Blanco Challenge and see what they pick. Why are high proofs better? Okay, that's a good question. As they say in Mexico, they say más sabor. Más sabor. It means more flavor. High proofs are not diluted with water, so there's more flavor compounds and it's just a richer flavor of the Blanco. Now, for brands like El Tesoro that distill at 40%, 42%, like right around there, that's different. There's still a good flavor in there, but there's still more water than there is more ethanol. And so it does dilute the flavor down. So if El Tesoro did a high proof, I think it would be excellent. But I keep talking to Carlos about doing it. He's like, yeah, no, we distill at 40%. We're not going to do that. I'm like, okay, well. He goes, you want a high proof? I grab the Tapatio. I go, but it's a completely different tequila. He's like, yeah, but, you know. Speaking of expensive bottles, any word or thoughts on the El Tequilano XA that's supposed to retail for $7? No, I haven't heard anything about it yet. I know their ambassador. I'm hoping she'll reach out and talk to me about it, but I haven't heard anything yet. They're going to be doing a single barrel program too. So collective members, I've already asked you guys, everyone was interested in doing that. So as soon as they release their single barrel program, we're going to do a single barrel of El Tequilano. But I don't know about the XA at $7.99. I think people are getting tired of these really high prices, and so I don't know if that's going to sell very much. Some of these prices are crazy. So, Sandbags or headache pain relief powders. Oh, I don't know. I don't do those. I don't do any powders or stuff. When I drink, the key to drinking and not having issues is drink lots of water while you do it. Maybe snack on something too. Take some vitamins beforehand. Just like a 1 a day, multivitamin. You'll be fine. That would be old be cool. High proof challenge. Oh, to do the challenge with Curiosity Public. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to challenge them. February 2024, I plan to go to Tequila, Mexico. I want to go to G4. What's the best way of getting that arranged? Well, if you go to Tequila, you're not going to go to G4 because they're not in Tequila. They're up in Arandas. 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Tequila. So it's a long drive up there, and you'll need a driver. I don't recommend driving in Mexico because people there drive crazy, and they have really crazy rules if you get an accident on how to resolve it. So I always get a driver, but they don't really open themselves up for tours publicly. So you have to reach out to Felipe or Alan and arrange to go see the distillery, and they'll arrange to have you come in. They don't mind having guests, but they're not like Disneyland where you just come in and you can pay money and take a tour, or they're just like have daily tours or anything like that. So you just need to know what's going on with them and whether you're going to be bothering them or not if they're in the middle of something. So sometimes if they're really busy, they'll say, sorry, no, don't come today. And they'll give you a date to come. So it's good to arrange that ahead of time. One way you might be able to do it is experience Agave, which is Clayton. Arrange a tour with Clayton, and Clayton can set it up with you. He can take you to a bunch of different places. Clayton's a good guy. He knows a lot of people, and they do a good job with their tours. I've never taken Clayton's tour just because I basically just call the distillery or message them and say, hey, I want to come see you. And they'll say, okay, come whenever you want. And I just go. But for the general public, I would probably arrange a tour with Clayton and experience Agave. Curiosity Public just did a high proof. Let's do a high proof challenge with them on real stuff though. What's a real blind challenge? I saw something where they picked Arete or something as their favorite Blanco, and I was like, what? Now we need to do a real blind tasting with them. So we'll do it Tequila Hombre style. Any chance you're gonna do the final Tequila People Monterey event in October? I don't know. I don't have any information on it. Probably not. Monterey is such a difficult place to get to because you kind of have to like fly into Sacramento first, and then catch a flight from Sacramento to Monterey or something, or drive from Sacramento to Monterey. Did I Sacramento? No, San Francisco. Drive from San Francisco to Monterey or something like that. So it's normally like a hassle to get there, and then I end up having people there that are haters that when I go, I want to have a good time. I don't want to deal with haters and stuff, so I probably won't go to that one. I stand corrected. They did an XA challenge. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Seeing a collab video with Curiosity Public would be awesome. I like tequila blind tastings. Okay, cool. Well, Samuel, you got to watch a week from Thursday on the Tequila Hombre Instagram channel. We're going to go live for our blind tasting, a blind Blanco challenge. Travis Conboy, he was here earlier. Jan Nissen, who's here. I think he's still here still. And then Cole Centers are my 3 contestants. They messaged me after last week's high stream, and I'm going to be doing like a Añejo challenges, extra Añejo challenges, regular 40% Blanco challenges. We'll do more high proof challenges. So if you guys are interested in this, want to participate, join the channel, become a member, and then when I mention them, say, hey, I want to be part of it, and we'll bring you on. But you have to be not shy to come on Instagram and go live with me to do the challenge. And the reason we're using Instagram is because I can bring 3 guests on with me, where here I need to pay $1,000 more a month in order to be able to add more guests. I can only do 1 guest on this application that I'm using. Otherwise, it gets more expensive, and I'm not rich as people think I am. I got a lot of bills that I cover and work that I try to do here on tequila stuff that I need to make sure I can still pay my bills and cover things here at the house. So. You like their Curiosity Public tequila blind tastings? Okay, cool. Well, I'll call them out. We'll see what happens. And you guys see, tell them you should do the Hombres blind challenge when I do it. I'll post it on I'll post it on Reels here since I can tag them on it. So because of the TBAC, I've had to add an additional $500 spending cap a month to many good buys. Don Fulano 20th and Don Pilar XA coming in tomorrow from Ferment and Still. Oh, nice. Thank you, Ricky. Well, I appreciate your supporting the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. And for those of you that don't know, I think the link is in the description still here. If you want to join the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, those guys get priority access to all the allocated bottles. So all the stuff everyone's like wondering or having a hard time finding, like the Madeira, you notice it didn't show up on Ferment and Still, and it's because the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective got it all. They got priority access to it. They got priority access to the Don Fulano 20th anniversary as well. And so the members got to buy that. It didn't even get listed on it was only listed in the exclusive Tequila Barrel and Agave collective section on the website. So they were able to to pick that up. And then we've gotten some good allocated stuff, so that goes to them first. And then if there's anything left over, then we'll release it to the public. But so far, they bought all the Don Fulano 20th anniversary, and they bought all the G4 Madeira stuff. So, and then when the G4 Madeira repo comes in, that'll probably be for collective members first. And then if they don't buy it all, then we'll open it up on Ferment and Still. My other partners agreed to this stuff. Then we'll make it available to the public there too. So. But thank you, Ricky, for supporting the collective and being a member. I appreciate you. And hopefully you comment and stuff too on the Discord and participate in the conversations that are going on there. Lots of good information and people sharing stuff and good conversations going on. There's no negativity. It's just all fun and lots of good people. So I'm honored to have that group and to be a part of it. And as you all you guys know too, if you ever have a question, I always make myself available. I'm not like these other influencers that are paid to get stuff and need the brands telling them what to say. Brands don't pay me. I don't get paid by brands. I make money through memberships, through guys supporting the channel here, and through supporting the collective. That's where I make my money, is through you guys. And so I make myself available here so I can answer questions for you guys. It's my way of giving back to you for your support and give you information. And a lot of times if you ask questions too and I don't know the answer, I can always connect with the people that have the answer and get the answer for you. So update on Excelencia Tequila. It turned out pretty good. I tried a little bit on Sunday when the Cowboys game. It turned out good. I like it. I like it. It's not as it's not as oaky as the regular the regular Tapatio Excellencia. Lots of agave in it still, but it turned out really good. I tell you what, I may give out some samples of that if people want to try the Excellencia clone. I love giving out samples and letting people try things. So I'll try to think about how I should do a giveaway on that. But I want to get more people on Instagram and build up my Instagram. So I may do something where the membership thing where, we get people to tag people and stuff so we can grow the Instagram channel, as well as, I want to grow YouTube too. So I'll think of a way, but I'll give away some samples of that. So if you want to try it, stay tuned. Yes, call them out. Okay, cool. Call out curious. All right, I'll do it. I'll challenge them, and we'll see how they do. And we'll see if they'll come on here onto my YouTube channel and do a guest appearance on here, because I do have. If you guys haven't seen it before, when I do my interviews and stuff here. Oops, I closed it. I didn't want to do that. Oh well, I just accidentally closed it. I need to open it back up again. All right, well, oh well. I'll show you guys later, but it breaks the screen up, and I can put them over here, and with them on like here, and then me over here, and then we have a split screen. We can do it that way. So I'll definitely call out Curiosity Public in a video and challenge them to a blind high proof Blanco challenge. You guys don't forget to click the thumbs up. Give me a like for me sitting here sharing with you guys. Oh, it's for those of you that came in late. I'm going to be working on a new project, and I'm debating whether I should go live and do it live with you guys watching or not. But Casa San Matias, because of the success with the Carrera High Proof, wants me to work with them on creating a special Blanco that's going to be high proof of the Taona Blanco. Which, if you're not familiar with the Taona Blanco, it's in a bottle like this. So they sent me 2 bottles of the tequila right off the still on a current run of the Taona. So I am going to be tasting this and then giving them feedback. This is 110 proof. So I'm going to give them feedback on this. So if you guys want, maybe I can go do a live on Instagram or something, or here where I do a tasting and walk you guys through what I'm tasting and what I'm going to recommend. And then they'll create a batch that will be a Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective exclusive for ferment and still. And then it'll probably be opened up to the public, because there's probably going to be a considerable amount of bottles. But the collective members will get first shot at it. But this is another like Carrera 54 type of experiment or an experiment project that I'll be doing with Casa San Matias, which I love that distillery. They're great people. So it will be it'll be good. So hey, Hombre, I don't recall if you reviewed the Fortaleza. I did not review the Lote 150 Fortaleza. I'm not chasing a Fortaleza Blanco because they used fiber in it. And paying the ridiculous prices that they're paying now for it, it's not worth it. Now, one thing you guys got to understand, everyone gets all hyped up about the Fortaleza special projects and stuff. Everybody in Mexico laughs about that. It's kind of funny because it's like, ooh, Fortaleza just did a batch where they used fiber in the fermenter. And it's like, okay, well, there's about 20 other distilleries that do that every day. And they distilled it to proof. Okay, there's about 10 other distilleries that do that every day. But everyone's like, oh, and Fortaleza is magnificent on their marketing scheme of getting people all excited over doing stuff that other distilleries do every single day. But they're willing to try to chase the bottles because if they put it up on Instagram, they'll get a bunch of likes. Or if it's on Facebook, everyone will go, ooh. Or if they put it on Reddit, they'll get good karma for it. Which Reddit is just a cesspool of crap anyways. If you've ever been on there, it's such a toxic. I don't even go to Reddit. I did like a couple years ago. I don't even bother with that anymore. You just got a bunch of people using fake names that are just bashing people and stuff because they can say whatever they want because there's no justification, no way anybody's going to call them out. And you don't even know if people are using the names and stuff that they are who they are. It's like a major catfish cesspool. So I don't even bother with Reddit. But you know, Facebook and Instagram and everyone's like, ooh, he's got a bottle. I need to get a bottle of 150 so I can post it. Everyone can be jealous of me. Oh, just stop it. Seriously. Just stop it. Oh, wait. They did a bottle and it's only exclusively for in El Bujo and it's cherry casks. Sherry casks. Well, there's like 20 other tequilas that have been aged in sherry casks. So what? But hey, it's going to help the dogs. So I'm all about helping dogs. I got 2 little furry beasts. I had one sitting in here, but I think she got fed up and left. I have 2 little furry beasts myself. Love dogs, love supporting dogs. And if it was reasonably priced, I probably would have, and I was in Mexico, I probably would have bought a bottle to support the dogs. But you guys everyone gets all caught up in the hype, and it's just kind of funny for me. So I will not chase a low 150 Fortaleza and pay the prices that people are asking for these bottles. My life is fine without Fortaleza, without buying any more Fortaleza. I got the Lote 42A. I got like 6 bottles of that. I'm going to give away samples of that. That's going to be fun. If you guys haven't tried the Lote 42A, which has the extra neo in it, I'll give out samples of that. That was a mistake, and that's a decent bottle. But I don't drink it by itself. It's funny thing is it, for me to drink it, really like drinking the Lote 42A, I mix it with the still strength Blanco and make a Joven with it. And for me, it tastes better that way. But there's so many other tequilas that I'd rather spend my money on and drink than Fortaleza. It's a great... Guillermo does a great job with the tequila, but the flavor profile just doesn't suit me as good as others do. So... would you ever do a meetup? Absolutely. I do meetups all the time. Sure. My buddy got a free bottle. I wasn't paying that high price. Okay, good. Well, good. But it's just a Blanco. Seriously, it's just a Blanco. There's other distilleries that do the same thing. Not everybody ferment or distills at 110. There's, like I said, El Tesoro distills down to 42%. So it depends on what the brand wants to do and what they want to accomplish. They can distill at 40%. But if they're going to barrel it and they want to get the most out of the barrel, they'll go 110 on it. And they also do that too because, like, you know, El Tesoro will run it at like 40, between 40 and 42, right in there, because when they barrel it, they'll lose ABV because of how wet their barrel cellar is. If you ever been down there, this water's dripping all over the place. It's really, really humid in there. And when something's really humid, you lose ABV. You don't lose water out of it. When a barrel room is more on the dry side, but cool, then you lose water out of it, and the ABV inside the barrel actually increases. It goes higher. So with them, it's really moist in the barrel room downstairs, so they'll lose ABV. And the same with Felipe. He has water coming out of the ground into his barrel room right now that's underneath the distillery, and so he loses ABV too. And so that's why, you know, he can't really do something that's too higher proof, because he loses ABV when it goes for a long period. Like the 5-year extra Neho was 90 proof because you lose a lot of ABV in those barrels because of how moist the room was. Yes, the secondary market's terrible in general too. Exactly. There's people that, and that's why a lot of the retailers are jacking the prices up on them, because if they didn't, then you can see these guys that are popping up on Facebook all the time where it's like, ooh, I wish I could get that bottle. And then somebody says, I have a few extra, DM me, right? And so then you DM them, and then they're like, yeah, send me $200. I'll send you 3 of them. And they're like, okay. So you send them $200, and then they block you and they disappear, and they took your $200, and they're going, sucker. Never buy anything from anybody other than a licensed retailer. Otherwise, you're going to lose your money. You're going to get scammed. Don't be a victim. You take a sample of the 42. Yeah. Well, I'll do a giveaway. I'll give away the 42A. So people that are subscribed here on YouTube and follow on Instagram, those are the ones that'll be getting the samples when I do the contest. So look for that. I've got like 6 bottles of it, so I'm going to give away quite a bit for people to try. I'm not one of these guys that hoards it and tries to sell the bottle later. I mean, I could sell all those bottles. I probably could sell them to people for thousands of dollars if I wanted to, but it's not about that for me. It's not about hoarding and making money on it. It's about letting people try stuff that they can't get anymore. I'd rather do that and have you come back and go, oh yeah, that was phenomenal, and I got to try the 42A, and it was because of the Tequila Hombre. I got to do it. That makes me more excited than bilking you for $500-600 for a bottle of 42A or whatever the going price is on it. So, I'd rather give samples away and then have people enjoy it. Trace Agave is your take. It's a decent budget brand. I'm going to do one of my plans. One of the things I was thinking about, and we'll see if what I'm waiting for comes through. I'm going to do a week on budget brands. So where I'm going to talk about different budget options. Everyone always talks about Olmeca Altos and Espolon. We're gonna talk about budget brands and some good ones that are out there that aren't Altos and Espolon. So keep an eye out. But Trace Agaves is a decent budget brand. It's made by T-Tap, the same distillery that makes Cascanes for them now. And they do good stuff. It's the Partida brothers are the two, and they work with, I forgot the other master distiller's name, but they do a good job at T-Tap. I was impressed when I was there. They make Inspiro too, Inspiro Tequila. They make the Blanco and the Repo. Ana Romero Mena helped them with that and was there, and they actually invited me when I was there to go try Inspiro when they were right before they were about to release it. And then I brought Cascanes guys with me, and that's how I introduced them to that distillery. And then they were looking to make a change later, and I said to John Paul, you should use T-Tap. And so then he connected with them, and now T-Tap is there. So I helped actually Cascanes get their new distillery, but they won't tell you that. They don't. You love a sample bottle too? All right, well, just participate in the things, and you never know, you could end up winning one. So hey, what's your vast amount of different tequilas? How do you decide what you're gonna drink? Yeah, it's mostly mood. It's mostly like, okay, what do I feel like? And then so I'll go like, I feel like, if I feel like something's gonna be more grapey, a little more different and fun, I'll go maybe towards a luchador. If I want, and I just go based on how I feel. If I want something that's a little different, it's going to challenge my palate, I may go for a mezcal or raicilla or a different agave spirit. If I want something that's light, but more agave forward, I may pick a repo out, and I just kind of say, I haven't had this one in a while. Sometimes let's drink this one. And it all depends too on what kind of stogie I'm looking at too. Because I do like to pair up my tequila with a good stogie when I'm at nighttime hanging out, or sometimes during the day. And I'm going to give you guys another tip for those of you that are still around. If you click the thumbs up, let's get it over 25 right now. So click the thumbs up if you haven't clicked it yet. I'm going to give you guys a little tip too, something that I've been messing with, and it works really good. I know a lot of people we worked on palate development, and so I want to tell you some things that I found that kind of help you with developing your palate, and you'll find out that you'll discover more flavors and stuff. But in order for me to tell you, you got to click that thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. I need to see the likes go up to 25 right now, because right now it's at 19. We got 36 people on here, so click the like, and then I'll share, get it up to 25, It'd be great if it goes up to 30, but I'll give you guys some tips on things, okay, and on how to develop your palate, so you can taste more notes in the tequila when you're doing your tasting, okay? So we're at 22. Let's go three more likes, 3 more people. Come on. Click the thumbs up button, give me a like, and then we're going to go over some palate stuff real quick, and I'll give you some. See, now the cool thing about it is you guys that are here watching will know about this stuff, but anybody else that just sees the video posted won't know all these great tidbits of information that I'm including in here. So it's kind of like a secret between us, which is kind of cool. We have 34 members on here now and 34 subscribers, which is a good amount of people. So it's going to help a good amount of people, which is cool. All right, we're at 24. We need one more like, one more person. Click the like button. Come on, and then we'll go. All right, one more person. We're at 24 likes. Let's go 25. I know there's one more person out there because there's 33 people on here. All right. There we go. We're at 25. All right, perfect. Okay, so here, developing your palate, right? The best way for you to pick up notes and improve your palate, and it's something that I've been told, and kind of ignored for a while, but then I'm finding out that it really does help. It's been kind of mind-blowing on how things are picking up and how my palate has improved. First of all, you want to make sure you use the right kind of glass. Okay, so I use the Denver and Lightly agave glass. I know it's expensive, $45, so you don't have to buy this. But if you're selecting your glass, you can even use a wine glass. Something with a bigger bowl on the bottom is good. I don't like this one as much because of how closed the top is. It forces all the ethanol right up to your nose. So I like that one originally, but the ethanol was always so strong on it, where this lets the ethanol dissipate with the opening like this. But even like a wine glass or a brandy snifter, use something like that. That'll help you get your pick up more flavors and stuff. Now, even though you may not like these, okay, you may not be a fan, they'll help you increase your palate and be able to pick out more notes. And you may find out that your palate has changed. Red wine. Drink red wine. Don't drink white wine. Every once in a while, drink a hearty red wine. And I'm talking like a Cab Franc, right? Or a Cabernet Sauvignon. Drink a red wine and sip it, right? Let it run all over your palate and just try to pick out notes and stuff on that. And you'll notice you'll start detecting different nuances and stuff just from changing from white wine to red wine. It's better for you too anyways. It's more tannins and stuff in there. But the red wine is great at developing palate. I didn't know this until as the sensory expert was explaining to me some things that I could do to help improve my palate. Drinking red wine is great. But also, drinking coffee black coffee. Now I'm not talking nasty instant coffee, good coffee. Like go to Starbucks and order a double espresso and drink it black. No milk, no sugar, just black. Okay, now the weirdest thing with me that I found, I was never a coffee drinker before where I could drink it black. I never liked the taste of coffee. Okay, but since I've been working on developing my palate, and I did a palate development class on the Hombre Cave channel, which was kind of fun. We tasted a bunch of things, but they said to me, my sensory mentor said, start drinking black coffee. And I went, really? He says, yeah, start drinking black coffee. I'm like, but I don't like coffee. It's too bitter for you. Like, start drinking it. Okay, so I was drinking cold brew coffee, and I used to mix it with almond milk and then put some vanilla, like sugar-free vanilla flavoring and stuff in it. And I had that with a morning stogie. So I bought an espresso machine and I just do a double espresso in a small glass. And while it's hot, I'll sip it. And the first time I tried it without anything in it, just black coffee, I was so surprised at how much I could pick out and how my palate was developing to the point where I actually enjoyed the black coffee, which before was way too bitter for me. But I could pick out notes of lemon, like citrus in there. I could pick out like all these different things that were coming from this coffee. And they're like, yes, coffee is like one of the greatest tools for developing your palate. But it's also a great tool for resetting your palate for both your mouth and your nose. So if you're doing a tequila tasting and everyone's been drinking Blancos and you feel like your palate's wasted, have a cup of coffee and sniff your coffee, because it'll reset your nose and reset your palate on your nose, but it'll also reset your tasting palate. So enjoy a cup of coffee before you go into the next line. But you don't want to use your cheap Folgers, or just, make it a good coffee. So make it like, a good Starbucks dark roast, or if you have an espresso or a cappuccino maker, make a good cappuccino or espresso. Just don't put milk and stuff in it. And you'll be surprised how many more notes you'll pick out. And like right now, I have a morning double espresso from my Nespresso machine, and I pick out so many interesting flavors out of the coffee. It's actually become really enjoyable for me to drink, and it really helps me too now. Where when I sit down and do tastings with the experts at the distilleries, I get to pick out a bunch of different nuances and stuff that I never really picked out before. And so my palate has changed because it's gotten more advanced. And for me, that's kind of exciting, because I never used to drink dark coffee, but now I love it. And I can pick a different cup from different places, and I start looking for all the different notes and stuff that I get from this coffee versus this guy. Is it an Ethiopian coffee? Is it Colombian coffee? And then it dawned on me, who told me about how much they love coffee and they drink a lot of coffee, and whether it was Carlos Camarena. And I think that's one of the reasons why, is because he's such a big coffee drinker and drinks coffee all the time. When he sits down to drink his tequila, he can pick out a lot more notes and pick out a lot more things out of his tequila because he's a coffee drinker. The man pumps coffee into his veins. He's drinking coffee all the time, but he grows his own beans. He's very careful about what the kind of coffee he drinks. And it didn't dawn on me why. And then after my sensory mentor said, hey, okay, now you're at the point where you should start drinking black coffee, it made total complete sense to me now. Sorry, I forgot to hit the like. Oh, don't worry. No problem. Try pulling directly into a piece of ice over frozen whiskey stone. It blanches it and stops the rapid oxidation of the flavors when it's hot. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I just was drinking it right out of the espresso machine. Uh-oh, Trevon Diggs is out for the season. Uh-oh, what happened to Trevon? Almond tequila with black coffee. Yeah, there you go. You can put tequila in the coffee too, but just try drinking the coffee black to develop your palate. And you may think, hey, it's nasty or whatever. Bear through it, seriously. But try it black and see what kind of notes, and you'll start going, I actually don't mind the flavors that I'm getting from this. It's actually not bad. But black coffee and hearty red wines are great tools for developing your palate, and they're easily accessible, and there's stuff you can share with other people. So, you could even, after tequila tasting, you do a first wave of tequila tasting, pour a Cab Sauv or pour a Cab Franc and enjoy a nice hearty red wine, and then come back to the tequila again, and you'll notice a difference in what you detect. Oh, it was ACL injury. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, well. It's okay. Our defense is so strong. I mean, it should be okay without him, but that's sad to hear, though. I didn't know did he get hurt in practice, or I hope it wasn't practice that did it. I didn't hear anything about him getting injured in the last game. But losing him is tough, because we need him for our pass protection stuff. He's great. But we got a lot of really good cornerbacks that are good, so and safety. So I think we'll still be good. We're pretty deep in the cornerback area. All right, so we're rounding right about 1:30. So it's been like 2 hours that I've been sharing with you guys today. It's been a lot of fun. It was a practice injury today. Oh, yikes. So, wow, that's horrible. That's terrible news. All right, you guys. Well, you had some great questions today. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for coming out here and hanging out with me today and asking some great questions. I hope the sensory stuff I shared with you today, I hope you try it. If you do, let me know what you think. Let me know if it's helped you. I love it. So I drink, and then, smoking stogies is really good for your palate as well. And I found that out too from a lot of people that I respect. And that's why a lot of people will enjoy a good stogie with a nice cup of coffee or a nice bourbon or whiskey or tequila. It actually helps enhance your palate as well. But I don't want to encourage anybody to get into cigars that's not something that they don't already do. So, but that's also it's also good. So a lot of people think, well, doesn't it adversely affect your palate when it actually doesn't? But thanks for the fun and the awesome info, Mark. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you for coming out today. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget, a week from Thursday, we'll do another live stream like this. We'll do another nooner, and then we'll do the high proof Blanco challenge at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Instagram. And then I'm gonna post some other great content for you guys coming up. So make sure if you're not already subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell next to it, and then make sure you also follow on Instagram, because we're gonna inundate you guys with some great information, and it's all free. So. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for your support. I appreciate you. I really do. And we'll talk soon. Salud. Bye.